Connections, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And welcome everyone. In this conversation today, my guest is working with us in uncovering our true potential. Indeed, this is truly why we came to the planet at this time, and we were each given the tools so that we may create a life for our greatness. Kathleen Hailley is with us today. She is an embodiment of the Divine Feminine, and she works with the Council of Nine Collective. This includes Jesus, Metatron, and other ascended masters. We meet Cathleena Hailley once again on Quantum Conversations. Hello, Kathleena.
Hello, Lauren. Wonderful to be here.
It is wonderful to be here with you once again. We are going to bring everyone up to speed on who you are and the work that it is that you do. I'm going to read your bio here because it pretty much says a lot about you, pretty much all. And so your coding accesses the womb water of an individual's birth, so that they are brought back to their original soul expression, creating a rebirth to allow full expression of the soul's imprint. And as the lineage of the life architect, your crystalline DNA signature not only carries the frequency of perfect pitch to align to the original human template, the earth template, and this universe template, but continually recalibrate this alignment. You have incarnated as an Arcturian, an Andromedan, and as a member of the Council of Nine Galactic Collective. And you bring the knowledge of human patterns of existence, along with extensive knowledge, and work with interplanetary and galactic portals. Through this, you access human patterning with galactic information, technologies, and energies to fully access one's original soul's blueprint. Wow. How did you discover this ability that you have?
Well, that's interesting. So I always say that I came in the world on. So I came in with the first awareness that I had with my parents was that I could, they would say something out of their mouth, and I could hear their thoughts, and it was different from what they just said. And then I would feel their emotions, and it was even different from that. And so it was very confusing as to what was going on. And if you could imagine, if you're a small child and you're having this experience of being able to hear your parents' thoughts, especially when there's a lot of confusion going on, you begin to look for ways to understand that, to cope, to figure out why you're hearing this, especially if you, in my case, had all this universal knowledge. And so I'm a very small child, and I felt from a little human level kind of scared and frozen. And I think that that energy and that feeling almost like pushed me to have a greater awareness of energy. I couldn't have articulated it because I was a little kid, but it had me begin to have a greater awareness about what was happening around me, because there was just so much that I was feeling. And fortunately, at about the age of 6, my parents, my father being pretty awake, he introduced us to transcendental meditation. And so during meditation, I would have 2 beings show up, and I didn't realize this until later in life, but they were Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and they would sit with me, and we would hold hands, and we'd be in this sort of triangle. And then I'm looking at it now because I could tell you even more of what was taking place. It was sort of a vortex began to open, and I was taken basically to the Akashic records. And I remember seeing like a building with these giant pillars, and that's where the Andromedans and the Arcturians and the Council of 9 were all there. And I remember walking actually in and seeing a book, and they introduced me to this book and flipped a page, and you know, I was young, so I remember just kind of looking at it, and it was as though whatever was occurring, I couldn't necessarily read it like we read a book, but it was like the information was being downloaded and entered sort of into my being. All of this I'm much more aware of even now than at the time, but it seems like that it's just been something that's going on. And so what my life experience is that I kept having all these unusual things happen when I would come around people. Some very uncomfortable and some really good, where I had, I guess sort of the general was people would either be really drawn or they would want to control me or shut me down in some way. And I didn't really understand all what was going on, but as I began to develop more, and I realized that people weren't just coming around me or communicate. They weren't just saying hi and things like that. They were literally just opening up about their whole life. And I could just say something. I don't even know what it was or where it would come from, and I would notice a profound change within them. So these are the kind of things I started noticing just on a real kind of 3D level early on, pretty young in life.
Yeah. What was your age again when you were in that meditation and you saw the vortex with Jesus and Mary Magdalene?
I was 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. We've heard of other people like you that age of 6, like Judy Callie. Very, very interesting. That is beautiful. Okay. And then from that age, did you always, you just developed it from there? Was there a time when you shut it down?
Yeah, no, I didn't develop it. Actually, I was more, I didn't really understand. I meditated for quite a few years, and I just remember it feeling very comfortable. But no, I didn't. I had a lot of things that would happen. I started having, like entities or people who passed over would just show up, and, you know, I'd have them, I'd be like in the kitchen, and there's a window, and suddenly I'd see something come at the window, and then something would fly off the shelf, and things like this began to happen fairly regularly, and I just kind of went with it. And I don't know, I kept having different things during my life that was trying to, I guess, wake me up and introduce me. But it was very difficult. I think being Arcturian, having an Arcturian, I didn't understand what that was. And with the Arcturian, that's where the geometry comes in. It's there's a lot of, and I was always good at math anyway, but but this whole geometry piece is all about the sequencing and the sequencing of how things work and how, in a much larger level, like I have this understanding now of universal constructs and how, you know, we connect with the earth and with the universe, all these kind of things. And so that being just the natural aspect of my frequency, this was just a part of me throughout my whole life. So I had this sort of internal structural component that was just kind of working on its own within my being and kind of outside of me. So it was actually kind of confusing because I didn't understand. So I had a lot of, you know, human knowledge coming in, and I would read books and do different things. But it was because it wasn't real airy-fairy kind of when it came to the energy part. It had this different structural component. And years ago, there really wasn't a lot of talk about aliens and, you know, the Andromedans, Arcturians, all of that. It was much more psychic and, you know, people passing over that it felt, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know where to place it, you know. So I took my energy and ended up becoming a massage therapist and in body work. And so through that, I could utilize the energy part of it, but in a more what seemed practical, structural, physical way. So it was kind of progression for me of allowing myself to open this to something much greater of what it really is. Hopefully all that makes sense, because it's like a whole progression of the way that things have occurred for me.
Yes, and so now here you assist everyone. Everyone who gets this, everyone who resonates with you, you assist them in truly understanding from a creation point what it is that you understand and how it all works from that perspective. And that's going to be what we focus on today, is how we can each uncover the full potential. So what I love about this is it involves the crystalline DNA, it involves the earth herself, the grid patterns, and the Torus, the beautiful Torus. So this is a beautiful understanding, and I love it because it's pretty scientific, isn't it? So we're going to talk about that, but share more about the importance of this as you see it.
The importance of everything you just talked about, because
yes, this understanding and creating from this perspective with the crystalline grid, the DNA, all of it.
Yeah. Well, without getting into the technical part of it right away, the importance is that we are creator beings, and you know we hear this a lot, that you know we are consciousness, and when I talk about consciousness, I'm talking about information. So your soul, if you will, is this big like library of information, and the design of the human experience is that you take this giant library of information called your soul, or your energy, and you download it like it's the software, and you download it into your brain, which would be the hardware, and then that information dialogues to your body, and we create physical reality from this dialoguing. And when we talk about the crystalline DNA, that basically is your soul signature. It is this information connecting with the physical or carbon DNA. And so having that understanding of, first of all, what that is, and bringing that into a 0 point or a now moment allows for you to first and foremost be interacting with your physical body. And that's really important because we have an unlimited really ability to create within this physical body. based on who you are. And so, so that's part of it. The other part is that the way in which we create is we have a thought, and your thought is literally comes out of your head like a little geometric shape, and that thought is the mental or masculine aspect of creation itself, which is basically the blueprint of whatever you create. And so we have a thought that comes out of your head, and then we add an emotion to that thought, and that emotion is basically the painter or the paintbrush or the fuel of your creation. And so we have a thought, we add an emotion, and then once you hold that for, I think it's 14 seconds, and also the emotion has a frequency to it. And so when you literally do that, you take a thought, you add an emotion to it, you hold it 14 seconds, whatever frequency that is, it literally gets pushed into what's called a unified field, which is what this Torus motion is looks like a donut that you move in and out of the hole, back and forth, back and forth. It's called Torus motion, and that's actually the motion that's within your heart, and what that motion is creating is called a unified field. And the unified field is where all things show up. So as a creator being, we have this thought, and then we add an emotion to it. Once you do that, it gets pushed into this field. And in that field, there is a match based on frequency of whatever that you have, whatever your creation is. And then once that match, it comes out into the physical world. So why this is important, even if you didn't understand that, is that you're creating by not just your thought, but your emotion of your thought. And so what we want to do, and what I'm about, is about helping individuals come into a now moment, which is a 0 point. A 0 point is actually, it's the frequency of truth. It's a place where there's no thing and all possibilities exist. And when we're in that now moment, within your physical body, with your crystalline DNA at its basically perfect frequency in that now moment, we have the greatest ability to create a life that you desire, both in your physical body as well as in the physical world. And then, of course, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's the simplistic version.
Thank you. I love that. And I will help you recap that. And then we're going to take some experiments with those who need your help and need your assistance. So let me take a moment and tell everyone who's listening live to this quantum conversation that if you would like to ask Kathleena a message or how to apply this tool in your own life, she's here to help you. You can join here on this webpage at acoustichealth.com by web call or phone, and we will unmute you so you can share your voice with us. All right, so it is beautiful. Again, we love the now moment. We have said this before. It is where all of our creation lies, and you just explained it, that there is this unlimited ability to create. And so the thought, I just want to add that the emotion, many of us are not aware of that emotion aspect of it. And that is where you really do this delicate work. Because if we're out there creating with our thoughts, but not aware of the thought of, or the emotion rather, of feeling less than, not worthy, not having enough, if there's that lack consciousness anywhere in the subconscious, no matter what you create, wow, it's never going to be as potent if there's that belief of unworthiness or lack, because you spoke of this thought and the emotion goes into the unified field where it is matched based on a frequency. So this is where you really help people get that emotion identified, or in any sense, it's an awareness of this creation that the power is found.
Yeah. Yes, and this particular talk that we're doing here, and when we get to what the special offer is, there's 3 layers to this toroidal field, and we're actually talking about today, even though I shared about the emotional part as well, we're really talking about the mental layer, which is the blueprint of your creation. And absolutely, the emotional component that you give that is absolutely important, because whatever you give that is what's going to show up in your physical world. But just from a thought perspective, when we as humanity, we talk about downloading this consciousness into the physical brain, there's so much going on with that. I mean, right now we're not even fully downloading actually our soul signature into fully the brain and it dialoguing to the body. We actually have what's called a mind matrix that's actually been created in the physical brain, and it's created from a consciousness that's been here that has not wanted humanity to really know that we're creator beings. And so because of this structure, how that's been started to be put in place is we're given beliefs, and we're given ideals, and we're told who we are, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, whatever. And when we are told those things and we become them, our thoughts move in relationship to who we believe we are. So it's kind of like the first aspect of creation, which is just your thought, is not authentically you. An example might be, say you're a little kid and you're just bouncing around and you're free and you're being silly and whatever, and say you're a little girl, and somebody says to you, well, that's not what a little girl is. Here's what a little girl is. And suddenly you hear that and you change and you become kind of stiff, and you become, in a certain body that now how you're told what a little girl is. And so now your thought in relationship to attempting to, say, create anything in the world, say like thinking about what I might want to do for a living. What's going to end up happening is you're going to pick something that's more practical that you can do, not something that's going to be free and joyous and fun, because your thought, your energy of your blueprint of how you create, which is you're mimicking that in the way that you've become something, you will do that in whatever you create as well. It's energy. It's how the energy will move. So,
yes.
So this is important to begin to just have an idea of, because this 0 point is where all the freedom is in relationship to that. This idea of 0 point is not empty. It is the place with no thing and all possibilities. It's the now moment. And if we can be in that now moment with that very childlike exploration, excitement, exploring energy, then we free up this blueprint to be able to be formed in the way that is unique to you, which is what we're kind of talking about here in terms of creating based on who you are. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. let's do a group activation and and really get into the now moment with you. And then we've got a line of people who are going to help us witness how you work with people directly.
Sure.
So that means we'll be taking callers. But Kathleena, this would be beautiful. This is really going to take us to a clear point of zero and reset our crystalline DNA.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. So I actually, to reset the crystalline DNA is actually a process, and I am going to take you into that. So what we're going to see, you may or may not see it, but I'm going to see you as though you're sitting cross-legged in a bowl, and it's as though this liquid light begins to come up around this bowl and covers up all the way around you and encases you in this bowl, and you can still breathe, but it's going to come up and cover you. And then it's as though your body, you stand up, and it's as though your body gets wrung one way like a towel, wrung the other way, and then dissolves into this liquid light and then begins to come back into form. And I'm going to be doing that based on this mental body. So it's a mental aspect. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to step into that and begin to just release some of these aspects and these belief systems that are much more in a physicality aspect of who you are in your body, how you show up in the world, more related to movement at the moment. So if everybody wants to close your eyes, start taking some deep breaths. Seeing everybody sitting in the bowl. The liquid light's coming up around. Just allowing. There's no efforting here. We're going to relax the mind. We're going to let go. That's great. Just keep letting go. There we go. See you standing up. Taking a deep breath. Again, there's no efforting. There's no fear. Keep breathing and allowing and letting go. And some of you have it's a little bit of a fear, so I'm going to drop that out of your lower body as you're just taking a breath. There we go. And let the body be wrung one way, run the other. We're going to drop into the fluid, taking a deep breath. We're just letting this crystalline waters, we're calling in the water technology actually is the crystalline waters of Gaia is communicating into this crystalline water bowl. And it's a recalibration now within your entire structure. Your central peripheral nervous system is being restructured to basically your Christed body is what's occurring. Taking a nice deep breath. We're going to allow for this it's a rebirth. As we're taking away, we're letting go of this false masculine frequencies of structure, of limitations. It's about limitation. We're releasing limitations. I'm going to pull that right out of this sort of crystalline, almost like an egg. I'm going to take a breath. I'm taking out this false masculine, there we go, frequency of limitation. We're just releasing the frequency of limitation itself, completely out of the entire being. We're going to take this out of your entire lifetime as we're spinning this consciousness of time within this whole structure now. It's a recalibration. We're recalibrating to now the moment. Take a breath. I'm going to begin to bring you back into form, the structural body, as we're allowing for the cellular body to continue to release the false masculine within any aspect of the cellular body of this limitation of frequency. We just simply allow that to dissolve in this crystalline field that surrounds you. Just keep breathing and allowing. Continuing to clear. I'm going to clear all the way up your channel, your central channel, through the entire brain. So allowing the body to come back into form. So we're still coming into form. So I'm going to spin this frequency all the way through your central channel, your central peripheral nervous system, allowing it to just keep releasing any of this limitation frequency. And I'm also going to step a little bit into the solar plexus and just release any fight or flight. I'm going to spin that out. Take a breath as I'm bringing you back into your body. Beautiful. Just allowing. And as we allow for the crystalline waters of Sophia Gaia to recode the interstitial fluid, the waters within your physical body, to the calibration of the ascension. It's going to help it just to bring more into this divine now moment as your source self. Beautiful. Take a breath. I'm just rooting you now into the core of the earth, as we're just continuing to release any places within any part of this carbon DNA, of this frequency of limitation. Beautiful. I'm just going to release too a little bit out of the head and the hair. This, it's against the false masculine that I have to figure it out. I have to figure things out. Just going to imagine little particles and let that float right out your head. Just like dirt, just like little particles float right out your head, out your hair. Just going to send all that, transmute that back to source. That's beautiful. A big breath. Letting you come back into form. So we're coming into the divine now, 0 points. Resting down into your body. I'm going to spin a little bit more through your solar plexus, releasing any fight or flight, any of this false matrix, false masculine frequencies and frequencies of limitation. So I'm going to spin that. I'm going to spin it from inside out of the solar plexus and open up the portal there through that solar plexus for divine clarity beyond all understanding. Keep allowing that. Just a little bit more to open up in that solar plexus. I'm going to keep spinning that. A very high frequency diamond white light. Big breath. For divine clarity beyond all understanding. Great. Take a nice deep breath. I'm going to bring you back down into your body. Okay. If you feel ready, you can come back. Let me know how you feel.
I feel very clear and fresh and sparkly and balanced. I hope everyone is truly feeling this. This is a powerful, powerful tool. When we released the limitation, it would be really interesting to see what others felt about that. And then particularly the fight or flight. That too was like, wow, it seems like so many of us have that stuck one way or the other. So that one for me, right, like avoidance or something. And so there's a presence now and a groundedness as that dissipated. So, all right, we are here in this 0 point. Thank you so much for that, Kathleena. This is when I want to go to some callers because we want to see how they're feeling. Hopefully this short, very simple, quick process helps them align in a new way and balance. But I know that there's some fine-tuning that we can do. I'm first going to go to Kimberly in Portland, Oregon. Hello, Kimberly. Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Hello.
We can, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. I so enjoy your show. Kathleena, what do we do about, I feel I was traumatized coming into actual birth, which relates to that wonderful birth water that you have in your programs. And this felt wonderful. It really did. You know, cleaning and being clear and feeling nice things. What kind of fine-tuning do you suggest for someone who feels that just incarnating was so traumatizing?
Yeah. Well, when I'm stepping into your energy, I can feel it's a lineage connection. It was traumatizing because how you left the life before and what was occurring. And there was still some memory, I think, that you've had. I think that there's to clarify that, to clean that. It's like there's an attachment there that I can look at through. It's really kind of coming through your umbilical area and up into your body. And if you want, we can maybe clear that a little bit now. And when I'm looking at it, definitely looks like that like I said, it's connected to memory, sort of life before, but it's also connected to the mom and her lineage and things that have gone on. There's a lot of energy interference there, and so it's actually being cleared at the moment as I'm speaking about it because I'm pulling it out. I'm watching it pull out. But I can pull that a bit more if you want. We can do a little.
Oh, please.
Okay. Yeah, it's already occurring anyway. So just take some nice deep breaths. What I'm doing is it's like pulling out of your sacral area, and I'm watching it. It's all these kind of cords, and it's coming right out of where the belly button. We're going to pull that straight up and out, and just keep breathing. You might even feel a little pressure there as we begin to pull that up and out. And I'm going to release this on a conscious, subconscious, and cellular level. We're going to release any contracts and agreements to hold on to information from any lineage, past lives, any connections to, just take a breath. Take a breath as I'm releasing this on. We're going to release this with forgiveness. Forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you, compassion for me, compassion for you. It's almost like the placenta is still attached. So we're just going to keep releasing that. Take a breath. I'm going to let that. And actually, it is kind of like that. So I'm going to release that from there, and I'm going to let that absorb actually into the body and into the heart, because this is actually these are frequencies of like compassion and empathy and other frequencies like that of the lineage of the divine feminine. There we go. We're going to integrate that back into your whole chest. Take a breath as we integrate this. I'm going to integrate this into sort of the higher heart too, because this has been missing in relationships, particularly any love relationships. So we're just going to recalibrate that. Like a recalibration. So I'm going to clear through that upper heart as well. There's a distortion there in relationship. I'm going to release that and allow this to recalibrate. Taking a breath. Clearing up through the throat as well. Take a breath. There we go. Beautiful. Just going to clear a little bit through the throat as well. It's kind of hung up around the thyroid because there was a confusion not having these frequencies balanced. So I'm going to clear that. It's going to clear through the endocrine. There we go. Perfect. Take a breath. We're going to bring in this pink light. It's just divine feminine. It's like an authentic feminine, kind of almost mother. We're going to bring this into the field, into the spiritual sort of field. It's a recalibration. So we're allowing that to soften. It's allowing the frequencies. It's going to release any anxieties and stressors that you've been feeling from this confused frequencies and energies. There we go. It's allowing that to calm down. They're perfect. It's also a golden light coming into your central channel. This is you before you ever came into form. So it's going to recalibrate a bit. And that's also just to help you come down in. We're going to run that through your entire body. There we go. Just let this integrate for a few minutes. We come into this let that rest in. I'm also going to step a little bit into your heart. We're going to move into the heart complex. I'm going to spin a high frequency diamond white light from the back to the front. Kind of break open the heart and take out the distortions of this kind of a confusion of not having these frequencies of sort of empathy, compassion in ways. I'm going to spin that out and just allow that to settle in a bit more. Take a deep breath and just allow that a little bit more to spin out of the heart. You have a little bit more around the kind of right chest area, shoulder. Just allow that to. This is frequencies of kind of like a holding. Just needs to let go. Just imagine little particles floating. There you go. Just let that go. Beautiful. Good. Take a nice big breath. There you go. Come back in your body and tell me how you feel.
Good. Thank you. I had a premature birth, so I don't know if that messed me up. I think it did.
Well, we just cleared a whole lot of stuff in relationship to that. So I would let that, I would let everything that happened just take place and let it recalibrate up into your awareness. Let it become a different story in a sense of what you've been feeling, because there's a whole different thing taking place right now in your whole being that's going to show you something very, very different.
Okay, is that like locked in? I would like to try and close the door on the old energies. Is that possible?
It's already done. If you don't bring them back in.
Yeah, I don't want to bring them back in by accident.
There's no accidents. Just allow for this recalibration to take place. You just need to let go of what's in the center of your brain right now, which is, it's a fear mechanism of holding on. So just let that go. Just release that. I suggest that you have a session that I can go deeper in, because there's a few more things, but there's a lot that just happened there that's releasing a ton. Okay? But there's a mechanism in the center of your brain that wants you to keep dialoguing this. And we can take that out. But that's inside. So
sure, thank you.
That was my message. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Happy integrating that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Great. Kathleena has a special offer that we're going to talk about. This is where you can get a personal session with her, and we will discuss all those details. Let's go to another caller. This time we're going to Riverside, California. I believe it's Michelle. Hi, you're unmuted. What's your name? Is it Michelle?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Michelle.
Kathleena, I find that it's a rare occasion when I have fun. Mm-hmm. Even things that you would think would be fun, when I go and do them, it just falls flat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
I would like some help with that, please.
Yeah. Well, okay, take some breaths for a second. Let me step into this energy, because where you are is you're in what's called the false neutrality. And it's an energy where you're in a nothing instead of a no thing. And it's occurring because we as humanity have been indoctrinated with fear as our base frequency. So fear is a chaos frequency. It has no rhythm to it. It simply bounces around. And when we allow that to take place within our being, then we have nothing that's seemingly to hold on to. So what I'll do is I'm going to help you get into the now moment, but this is really going to be your kind of task, is to actually be present because that is why you're not having any emotions that are you're feeling as fun, because you're not authentically present. So some things, I actually have a little book. It's on my website. It's called The Pocket Guide to Presence, and it just gives some little techniques about how to get and stay present. But some of the things that need to happen is like even when you wake up in the morning and you wake up and your brain starts to go somewhere, or you're in this emotion or feeling of emptiness or feeling, distraught, whatever that we're feeling, you need to begin to ask yourself, first and foremost, what am I feeling? What is it? What's happening to me? And as you're doing that, you want to take your attention to your bed, like that you feel your sheets, you feel your clothes, and you just bring your attention continually to the now. Because what's happening is you are not authentically having any experiences. And this is very, very common for the collective. And the reason we're doing that is because our base frequency is fear. That means that everything that I think that I'm experiencing, even in a place of joy, is in still a frequency of fear. And how do we get rid of fear? We have to be in the now moment and simply let it play out, so to speak. Let it bounce around. Let the dialogue in that's trying to tell me, where do I want to be? What do I want to do? And just allow yourself to be in the now. But we also have to allow ourselves to be in the place of curiosity and exploration like the child. And notice how the mind, because this is where this whole control mechanism is, how the mind doesn't want you to do that. That's the false matrix, mind matrix that we're working with now to start to clear some of that. And I'm going to clear some of that with you. I have some other courses that you can look at as well another time on my website that are directed towards this, clearing these. But this is just all about really getting present. That's what it is. So let's go in your energy here, and I'll start to clear some of this chaos frequency that's within your mind, within your being. So take some nice deep breaths. Going to step into the physical brain. There's an actual matrix in the physical brain that we have created because of having fear as our base, and it's these pentagonal shaped boxes that literally our consciousness is sitting in, and they're not even communicating with each other. This is why you can't feel, why you don't know. So I'm going to begin to release just the mental aspect of this sort of boxes. And this is tied to the limitation frequency that we were just working with. But in your case, there's a frequency, it's a false frequency of neutrality, so it's like a nothing. Take a deep breath. It's also a hopeless feeling, frequency that is there. We're going to release that, taking a deep breath. I want you to imagine like little particles, like dirt, just releasing out of your body, out of your head. And this is frequencies of empty. It's like it's a nothingness frequency. That's good. Keep allowing and breathing. I'm going to expand you 360 degrees. I'm just going to keep taking that out. We're taking that out of your head. We're taking that out of your skin. We're taking that out of your body. Just going to keep releasing this frequency of nothingness. I'm going to expand you 360 degrees. I'm going to expand you. I'm going to take you all the way out to the organic grid. I'm going to plug you in 100% into the organic grid. I'm actually going to take you further than that. I'm going to take you past the space-time continuum, past the free will zone. Keep breathing and allowing. And as we take you further and further out, we take you past the space-time continuum, past the free will zone. We can completely release these feelings of nothingness, of hopelessness. Just allow. There's no efforting. Just going to keep expanding you and releasing out of your skin, out of your body as we're continuing to expand you. Just allow. I'm going to expand you a bit more. Keep breathing. I'm allowing. Expand you more. I'm going to bring forward this very, very high frequency white light. This is your divine creator. This is your divine creator stepping in as a recalibration of your, as yourself as source, being like a remembrance that's being recalibrated now into your entire being. This is happening on a quantum level. Keep breathing and allowing as your divine creators. The recalibration, your entire central channel. We're going to recalibrate. It's recalibrating all your entire central channel as we continue to expand you. Keep allowing, particularly around the solar plexus, as there's a recalibration of all the archetypes, the gender roles. Also going to clear that through your whole sacral. This recalibration of your divine creator within your entire sacral, in any sexual misery programs being cleared now. Take a breath. Beautiful. I'm beginning to bring you back down to your body. Take a big breath. Allowing for the recalibration. We're still spinning through the solar plexus and the sacral, clearing all lifetimes, all lineage of the archetypes, the gender roles. Coming back down to your body. Keep going back down to your body. Allow for the constriction around the diaphragm to release. You spin that. And releasing from the liver also. This is any frustrations, angers. There's a lot still in the solar plexus being cleared. Great. You can keep clearing that and bringing you down into the body, into the now. Allowing for the channel to open up through your root and through your feet down into the core of the earth, to root you down, your pure connection to the earth. Oh. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Tell me how you feel.
I feel lighter. A lot of, I felt a lot of energy moving everywhere, and just even the word hopeful came in, which is better.
Beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That was really beautiful. That was beautiful for the collective and everybody on this call. That was something that, that was very beautiful that you, brought that for everyone, and that I think you're going to feel a lot lighter for sure. And just allowing that to recalibrate. You may have a lot of emotions. Let them come out. Just let them. It's all about being authentic and letting out what no longer serves you. And being in that now moment. Practice being very present in the little things. Feet on the floor. Feel your feet on the floor. Just feel yourself. Keep bringing your attention back to where you are. And then allow yourself to step into that with curiosity. To practice. I have a lot of things that can help with that. If you're interested, you can take a look, and this course will be really good for that as well.
Okay. I will look at this course, and then I'll contact you and see what else you suggest.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, you're a beautiful energy. Everybody on this call is a beautiful energy. It's really, really amazing. So thank you for showing up.
Yeah, thank you. So grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. Well, let's take a moment, Kathleena, and have you share more about your course. You've got 5 activations. These are 90 minutes, and they're a class and an activation. And then they also come with a personal session with you. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, so this particular series is the first one in the toroidal field series, and this one is clearing the mental aspect, which is what we're talking about, which is, I think, very, very important. It's clearing aspects of the mind. So each one, each week, and these are pre-recorded, but they're all done in now time, in 0 point time. So the activations are as though they're doing them live. So they are in now time. So they're all designed to clear aspects of this mental toroidal field, so that we free that up, and that frees up within your physical body. And then yes, you also have an opportunity for a session, and a session with me was, some of the things that I'm doing, but what you may not know what I'm doing is I can see and experience what's called the human template. And this is basically a blueprint of what the physical expression of the soul kind of can interact with. It's not necessarily like a body, like it looks like the arms and legs and so on, but but it is a template of whatever is happening to you, whether it's on a physical, emotional, spiritual level, or it's, so when I work with you, I see that, and then whatever is not in your highest and best, we remove, and then we bring in things that are, and it's everything from past lives or implants or, you know, physicality things, whatever's going on with you, in whatever capacity. So that's kind of how I work.
That's how you work, and that special offer is available on the link on this webpage. And you are opening your calendar to meet with people. Plus, the activations are an immediate download, so that's very helpful for those who really want to dive deeper with this work. All right, you are amazing. We're going to get some more people here. Let's go to Randy. Hi, Randy.
Hello.
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 So,
hi, Randy.
It's kind of amazing to think about what you're sharing with us. And yet it seems natural and something I'd like to learn more about. Can you see something in my future?
See something in your future in relationship to learning more about this? Is that what you're asking me, or just in general? Or?
Specifically what you're looking at, say. The process.
Well, the thing is that, well, first of all, I mean, I can do psychic things, but that's not what I do. But, you know, time is, time is not linear, it's circular. And so what I am seeing with you is, that there's a tremendous amount of light that's around you, and I can definitely see, like, within your body, there's a lot of you know, you have a lot of mental energy around your head. So there's a lot of, and what I mean by that when I'm looking at it is it's a lot of more the physicality thought. So as that lifts off, and I think if you choose to, you know, do this course on, that's going to help that, and definitely this session. If we lift that off of you, you have tremendous light, I can tell that, but I can see where there's been a lot of dialoguing. So you've had a lot of dialoguing about probably what it means to be a man or how to be or whatever, different things, and it may be even deeper dialogue.
Other people.
Yeah, other people.
Helping to define it.
Exactly. Other people's stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's great. And even you said that, a big piece started to leave, and so that's exactly it. Yeah, that's so true. That was great. Yeah. You know, one thing that I say all the time is this is really easy and it's really hard at the same time, and that's because you're right that it seems like, wow, you know, this is really, really amazing. And it is amazing. But we're just on the precipice of knowing who we are. And you know, there are some of us that have come in with this, we'll call it knowledge, universal knowledge intact, so that we can become the way showers. But as you're probably experiencing, the way showers are not as we've been in the past, which is, look at me, here I am, I'm going to teach you through a lot of verbal. It's more in representation as energy and frequency. And that's what we're doing. So it's like showing up, you know, and that is what I feel a lot with you as you continue to show up, because you can really feel like what you just did was lift off a big piece of this dialoguing. And you have this really great energy, and you're very funny and witty, and I can feel that about you. And so I think the more you really embrace that and let that kind of burst out of you, I think you're really going to see why you came here in this time, and it's definitely going to come in. I already see it. It's actually, as I stepped in, one thing about me, I don't just ever arbitrarily talk to people, because the nature of the incarnation that I came in as this frequency alchemist, the nature of the energy that is me in this idea of recalibrating is bringing you into your soul signature, basically. And that is happening as I'm speaking to you. Even now, watching everything changing, it's like, it's all coming into form. So yes, I see you. You're definitely expanding more and more as I'm even stepping in, looking at it more now. And you have a tremendous light. I think you have a lot to share, and you will.
Yeah.
So just have fun with it.
An example of the mental stuff. So I go to the doctor and I say, one of my problems is gaslighting. And right away he says, I don't know what that is. So I say, isn't that gaslighting? And his reply was, now I'm offended. So how can he be offended if he doesn't know what it is? It's like so self-realized. The reality, the pink elephant.
Yeah, I know. That's funny, right? Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Well, that's beautiful. So all you have to do is we have to just get out of our own way. Basically.
I feel an energetic shift. I feel
Great.
stuff moving around. In this moment, you've given me an experience that I believe is miraculous and
wonderful.
sensational. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fantastic. Keep showing up.
I'm gonna keep looking
Love
at
it.
And you've got a lot to share, Randy. You've got a lot to share.
Absolutely. Love it. Thank you, Randy. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think everyone has a lot to share. It's just a matter of us realizing what it is that we do have to share and how we can help others uplift themselves the way that we've learned to uplift ourselves. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have time for one more. Let's go to Carol. Hi, Carol. You're unmuted.
Oh, my gosh. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Carol.
So grateful. Thank you. Wow, your energy is very strong. I can really feel it. Today when I saw your email coming through with the package and everything, I felt nauseous and I had a headache, but I knew that I was supposed to be on the call. And I felt really strongly like, oh, I have to be on this. So I'm not sure what that's about. Can you feel into that and see what that might be?
That was just a lot of clearing of fear. There was a lot of, you've been going through, as most, a tremendous amount of trepidation, uncertainty, confusion, things like that. And it was just boom, it came to surface, like really fast. And it wants to clear through you, very, very much. I can feel it. And so it's actually, beginning to clear that through your solar plexus. Wouldn't surprise me if you shake a little bit. You can feel a little bit of that maybe in your upper body, and just some things. What it has to do with my employer. I'm a healer, and that's really what I'm here to do. And I'm a teacher of healing and that kind of thing. But I was working at a law firm, and the attorney that I worked for kind of took advantage in a big way. So I'm trying to do paperwork around that, and it's really kicking up a lot for me. Besides the betrayal of it, Well, and what I'm feeling is that, it's really important to come into a place of neutrality with that, because as we're understanding about the law of one, that there's no separation with these things. And really what's clearing through you is definitely, it's happening through your solar plexus. I can see it right now. It's the archetypal lineage stuff that is getting absolutely triggered by this experience, and you have an opportunity to clear something very old, like through a timeline, through a lineage, as you come into it's like a calm place within you. This is tied to the father. It's tied to the lineage with father, and there's a lot of energy in that. I'm actually pulling that to the surface a little bit more for you, and it's wanting to spin, and allowing that to come out. It's really we've now pulled it out, that it's just at the surface in the solar plexus, and so I think when you release this, when you release it's like a ball of energy from it, with love and grace and ease, this piece shifts tremendously. And it's ready to do that. You can feel that.
I've done so much work. I'm telling you, it's like I've really been going deep with everything, you know, really looking at it and trying to, you know, surrender to the whole process.
If you have time, I'll look to pull that out.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Just close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths. Okay, take a nice deep breath. I'm going to pull this. This actually has like fibers that are attaching into the pelvis and down. This is into the hole. It's tied to your sense of vulnerability. It's actually being a woman, but it's a vulnerability, so we're going to unhook it from vulnerability. It's also very connected into the liver, which is like frustrations, anger, you know, like a matter of principle and what's right, all that. So we got to release that entanglement there of those frequencies. So we're going to release that frequency of right and wrong, kind of this, you know, black and white kind of frequency. Taking a deep breath. I'm going to unentangle that from, this is a father. This is like, you know, like almost like a sort of a defiant energy in relationship to father. It's kind of like a false power energy. And I'm going to break that up. I'm going to pull that off. Take a breath. Take that out of the liver. And just breathe as we allow. We're going to release this with forgiveness. Forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you, compassion for me, compassion for you. I'm going to free up the, like the little girl behind this that, that doesn't, that hasn't been seen or cared or, so about being loved. There we go. We're going to unentangle that from the archetypes and the gender roles from the solar plexus. So we can pull this out. It's also a cord. It's going up the sternum and into the throat. This is the mother. And we're going to pull that out the throat, actually. This is this. Like,
yeah, that's really deep. Throat thing. It's been there for a while.
Yeah, that's like taking a stance, like it's again false feminine. I'm going to pull that out. I'm just going to pull that right out the throat. Take a breath, and as we're going to pull that out, I'm unhooking it from the diaphragm. We're going to pull it straight out the throat from the sternum. Taking a breath. We're going to release it also off the top of the sternum. It's almost like break apart the sides of the sternum, but it's not really doing that. But imagine like little particles coming off the top of the sternum, more down around the diaphragm. And this is all mother. It's also, I think, a sister or some energy in there with that. We're going to release all that. Taking a breath. Deep breath. You can also release this off the upper rib cage. There's just a lot of energy in relationship to not being heard or seen and ending up in this sort of stance and fight, and we're just releasing all that energy. This is all this lineage, and it's all behind the heart. So we're going to take that out of the heart as well. So I'm going to begin to spin the heart. Yeah, take a breath. I'm going to spin the heart technology, and we're going to spin that open with this very high frequency diamond white light. It's going to bring that behind and blow open the heart, take out all of those discordant frequencies, the confusion of the child becoming fighting when she's really hurt. Taking a breath. Beautiful. I'm just going to take that out. Good. Take a breath. Tell me how you feel. I think you may be very emotional, but that whole piece.
Yeah, a lot of emotion came through.
Yeah. I think and be a beautiful energy. Just be very nurturing, very loving. She's very young. Love her, nurture her. Do some fun things for a younger person would want to do. Let that. Okay. Let that vulnerability show up. Okay.
Do you think that'll like free up my singing voice, because I have some blocks that were in my throat? Do you think that's going to help my singing voice?
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to help every part of you. So just allow. You're going to have to allow for vulnerability to show up. That's not necessarily something that's comfortable, because that's what created this whole thing. So it's really important to be in the now moment, and you may feel nervousness, probably going to feel it in your belly and your gut a little bit in certain scenarios that might surprise you. Just let that occur and just be. Oh, that was be so in the moment.
I can really see. I mean, in my knowing eye, I can see how much was released. It's a lot.
Yeah,
wow.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for showing up.
Appreciate that. My goodness. Thank you. Thanks, Lauren, also for picking me.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carol.
Wonderful.
Happy integrating. Happy releasing. Beautiful. Yes.
Beautiful.
And we are out of time for questions. There are many people who did not get their chance to ask you a question today, and we're sorry about that, but you were able to also be part of the beautiful vibration and the beautiful experience, and we truly hope that helps you. That is a beautiful gift and a wonderful tool. So go back to the replay of this episode and enjoy that again and use it to get into 0 point. Each time we use it to let go of limitations and to get out of fight or flight, we will feel it, and that brings us into the 0 point, and it gives us such a powerful creation point. So thank you, everyone. If you would like personal time with Kathleena Hailley, get a personal session with her. You have an option to just purchase her activations or get the activations with her personal session. Thank you, Kathleena. As we wrap up our call today, I just want to give you a moment to close our sacred circle and offer anything that we might not have gotten to yet.
Well, thank you. I think that amazing beings, and thank you all for showing up, and know that we're all in this together, and it's a beautiful thing. And there's nothing greater than anyone or anything. That we're all just beautiful, amazing creator beings, and you're all tremendously loved. And I have tremendous gratitude for all of you. And, and I do want to add, too, that if anybody really had something that they feel really prominent that they want to ask, just send me an email, and I'll see what I can get to. That's at KathleenaHailley@gmail.com. Because I think that this is a very important time. So, so thank you. Thank you, Lauren. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. Kathleena, we'll bring you back and do more healing opportunities with folks. And, you know, there's more ways that people can interface with you. So thank you for sharing your time and your space and just this beautiful alignment to our true nature and the 0 point of creation. Thank you so much for being here, Kathleena Hailley.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Again, if you resonate with this work, resonate with the vibration, and sense that it could be beneficial in your life, check out the personal session. Again, those come with activations for you to go deeper. And again, each of these activations are evolutionary spirals where you return to them and a whole new level of healing and clearing you are assisted with. Thank you, everyone. Now it is time to dance our way to the cosmic heart and just have a little fun and being in joy. So maybe get funky. Let's see if I've got one here for us to get funky. Yeah, here we go. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe, music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.